Hi, right now it's 17th of April and I'm just editing bloopers. I think the whole filming process went really smoothly. We spent up to maybe 8 hours on the first day. Then the second day was much easier and the third one just went like this. One thing which we did well is planning the time for each shot. We basically finished, I think, 2 hours beforehand on the first day, and then we finished like half an hour on two of the other days. So half an hour before the time when we're supposed to finish, which was great. Because there's nothing worse than you getting frustrated that you are going overtime when the most important thing is obviously shooting your film. Today I spoke to the editor and he said that he may send me the first version of the footage, potentially tomorrow, maybe in 2 days. I hope it all goes well. I'm a bit worried about how the edit will look because, this is my first film of that sort. I remember when I was working on another film and Kinetic, and I was doing the first edit for that one, and even though the first edit wasn't terrible, obviously it was not even close to the standard. Fingers crossed, hopefully it's not gonna be too bad. I know that the editor was saying that there may be some problems with certain shots. And just to quickly recap what happened to the footage which we gave to the editor, honestly, I'm really surprised that he even was able to do anything with it because basically we filmed the sound with a mic, but obviously we had a camera separately from that, and the mic wasn't connected to the camera but was connected to the Tascam. That's one thing. And second of all, so we had this big camera as a prop, right? So what we did is we basically connected the mic to that big camera so that we can get a better sound. Again, I'm not a sound designer, but apparently we checked the quality of sound and that was what sounded better. So, but because of that, basically the editor got sound completely separately from the visuals, which, if you're an editor, you know that this is hell. But so because you basically have to pair each shot with the sound, which is not the greatest thing. Also, sorry for the light. It's not the best. Also, I'm filming on an iPhone, which is also not the best, but I'm still very undecided about what I'm gonna do with the film after we finish it. Because, I mean, obviously, if it's a great quality, I want to show it to as many people as possible. But I'm worried, Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you worry, to be honest? Today is 17th of April, which means that we started filming, I think, almost a month ago. I would need to check for the exact dates, but that's how it sounds to me. I think we were filming on the 15th. People who've seen the film or who will see the film will know that basically at the end I don't want to spoil it. Do I want to spoil it? Okay, there's just a scene with a truck, right, at the end, but we couldn't really get a truck. Basically, we're trying to rent Zipcars, which if you know Zipcars, it's basically this service where you can rent cars and they charge you per hour or something like that. But to do that, it's really silly. So you need to be either if you're a UK citizen, you need to be 21 years old, I think, and if you're from outside of Europe, you need to be 25. And literally, the people who were taking care of this, including myself, we were all either 20 or we're out of Europe. What was really annoying was the fact that we didn't even want to drive the car. We just wanted to really rent it for an hour so that we can film some shots of people being brought into the van. But instead of that, what we did, we basically created like a little storage room, which was fully black. And I personally think it looked even cooler. And I think the people who did film with me were of the same opinion. So hopefully again that works out. We had this scene when we're supposed to have one of the actors drag another actor from the chair of the stage. Yeah. Except that we didn't really try it beforehand. If you have a scene where something which is maybe more complicated, which has to be done, I would advise you to look closely at the script and see if that's really A, needed, B, if it can be simplified, and C, just talk to the actors and kind of explain exactly what do you really want from them. First of all, the actors are being put on the spot, so they are stressing about this and they want to obviously get the scene as quickly as possible so we can move on to other scenes. After the shoot, we talked to the actors and basically because they didn't have a time to really prepare it between themselves, one of the actors was thinking that the other actor will pull her slightly differently. So she was putting her body weight in a slightly different way, which made it more difficult. He didn't tear his back, but I think he pulled his back. He was basically in pain for like 2 days. 2 days. I would need to talk to him to actually confirm for how long it was a problem for him. Obviously, I felt really badly about this, and fortunately, it happened at the end of the shoot. So we literally had 2 scenes after that to shoot, and that's also another thing which I guess I would advise you. If you have more physically challenging scenes, maybe try to put them at the beginning of the shoot. That's how I would probably do it next time, because everybody's tired. Everybody's already kind of getting to the mood of like, okay, we have just that many scenes to go home. So people are more and more pushing towards just trying to get the last shots in so that we can finish, instead of trying to take as many takes as possible to get the best take. But also definitely run the scene with them beforehand and just you and the actress just kind of try it out, see if it's working or not. And if it's not working, try to always have a plan B or even plan C. I really wanted that scene in. That was basically the scene from which I started planning the whole script. This was the first scene which came to my head when I was trying to get the whole thing together. So in that way it was a very important shot for me because I was the most tied to it emotionally. And again, if I was to do it again, I'd probably say don't let your emotions dictate what you're shooting over what is practical and what's safer. You just feel like shit when something like this happens. You really do. Obviously not to mention the person to whom it happened, because if he was acting in something else that particular week or something like this could have really turned that particular week to a nightmare for that actor. Fortunately, that didn't happen. Fortunately, he quickly recovered. I don't even know if if we are using this shot, and this is the most frustrating thing, because like I don't want, on one side obviously if the shot didn't look well I don't want to use it, but at the same time if the actor pulled his back to get this shot right. So that are all the updates which I have for now. Sorry, I really wanted to film the whole process as it went through, but honestly it went through so quickly that I didn't really have time to shoot everything. So yeah, I'm sorry that you're kind of out of the loop about everything, but fingers crossed for a film. Bye.